Hey internet, welcome to the Toyota Fortuner. It certainly has that diesel roar that you think sounds like thousands of kids hitting tiny little drums in the room next door. Hard drums made of concrete. Interesting sound, the diesel engine. Fascinating. Well, first off, it's pretty big, this guy. Pretty big. And interestingly, this car has a rear view camera over the back bumper so that you can see on this little screen what's going on while it's reversing. We've got the Toyota version of denim on denim, which is chestnut brown on the outside and chestnut leather on the inside. What's it like to drive? The diesel engines are very torquey, so you get a lot of your power. You've got 130 kilowatts and 450 newton meters of torque, which is actually, you get 30 more newton meters of torque when you get the automatic over the manual transmission. You're never going to feel underpowered. It's a 4-cylinder 2.8 liter that returns pretty good fuel economy. I've managed a real world, predominantly town and short distance driving fuel consumption of 11.5 liters per 100, which isn't bad at all actually for something like this. And the fuel tank's massive, so I hardly ever have to put in fuel. Nothing worse than a huge car with a tiny fuel tank. Doesn't really make any sense. It's a pretty good all-rounder. The boot's gigantic. There's a fair amount of ground clearance for sure. The road noise isn't too bad. It's quite quiet and calm in the cabin, but outside you can hear that tractor engine in front of you at all times. The instrument dial's very nice. It feels like quite Lexus-y. Toyota seems to be taking quite an interesting path stylistically, and I think I like it. They seem to be taking a few more chances than some of the other guys. And when I say the other guys, fill your head with whoever you think that is, because it's those guys. Oh, there's that shocking stepway. I must say one thing that I do like is the steering wheel. It's nice to look at, very Lexus-like. This car is just over 600,000 Rand, which is a fair bit of cash, but you can get into the Fortuner game if you're desperate for about 200,000 Rand less than that. This is the big daddy, the top of the range Fortuner. For somebody who actually wants to go off-road, it's definitely noticeable in terms of the ride. It's not that ultra-refined, doesn't feel sporty, it feels utilitarian. It feels like a Hilux that's been to finishing school. It's got good manners, doesn't just fart at the dinner table, and the tagline for the car is the luxury of freedom, or something like that. I may have been butchering it there. The car doesn't have a sunroof, which some people would complain about. I don't care much for sunroofs, TBH. I think they're mostly a waste of time. Coming at a level with you guys, I'm not a massive off-road enthusiast, but I've done a bit of research. What do we got that people care about who are going to buy these kinds of cars? So I see no reason whatsoever for the flappy pedal gearbox. It doesn't really make much sense to me. And its gear changes are about as quick as a glacier. It's got a great automatic gearbox when you're not trying to shift through at a rapid pace in your pedals. What we've also got is we've got the ability to change from rear-wheel drive to four-wheel drive. Low and high, you can do it on the fly, you don't need to stop. It's got this little infotainment system going. It doesn't have sat-nav, it's pretty simple, but sometimes when I press play on the screen, it starts playing with my cell phone like it has just done now, and not off the whole sound system. All rights go to, and there we go, it starts there. Sorry, all rights go to Bonobo. Please don't sue me. The sun is blinding. I can see very little. I'm hoping I don't run anybody over. Don't worry, cyclist. Speaking of the sound system, it is actually a pretty good sound system. Unexpectedly so, because you wouldn't expect, the farmer's choice to have a really nice sound system, but it actually is pretty good. I think this wood might be fake, unfortunately, along with this wood here. This doesn't seem super. It's got that very plastic wood feeling. I'm not sure what kind of tree that comes off of, not one that's been discovered yet. Now, the one small letdown for me is that the steering is a little bit numb. I'm not sure quite what's going on with the front wheels. It really does feel quite utilitarian. But yeah, I mean, it trundles along beautifully. Does everything it's supposed to do very nicely. Thank you very much for watching, and if you liked what you saw, even if you liked it a little bit, just to give it a little subscribe, maybe a share, like always helps, any of the above. But thank you, and have a good day.